Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahahakwadash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops at Great Millstone who were well. Peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. All right, this is the brother Yeshaya, part of Men of Valor, South Carolina. And this lesson right here, this lesson right here is going to be titled something along the lines of the 3 W's to live by in His truth. All right, and I got this from the elders. Starting with Apostle Hall down, the bishops, the elders. I think I heard Yashawamba say it a couple times that hey, we're gonna do the work, go to work, all right, and work out. You know, doing the work, the truth. Okay, doing our videos and going on the highways and byways is first and foremost, but there are also things that are conducive to being fruitful in His truth or being productive in His truth, which is taking care of your worldly duties and taking care of your health, man. So without further ado, this is Baruch 3 and 7. And for this cause, thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power. So us having to have a job and have to work over on this side is a curse. Okay, you can go back to Deuteronomy, or you can go back to Genesis actually. I'll bring that out. But basically, when Adam had transgressed in the garden, the Lord told him, from the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt get thy bread. All right. Which means, because we wasn't set up to be slaves. Okay. It says, is Yasharalo, is Israel a homeborn slave? All right. No. All right. We were set up to live forever and have subjects. Okay. But through our transgressions and through our disobedience, we were put in certain captivities, with Babylon the Great being spiritual Egypt, spiritual Tower of Babel, spiritual Assyria, Sodom, all type of code names. Okay, and that's where we're at right now, subject to payments. This is the book of Haggai, chapter 1, and verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not drink. Ye drink, but ye are filled with drink. Ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. So there you go. All right. We are subject to payments on this side. And, it'll seem like sometimes you're stacking up your money a little bit. You're saving up. All right. But then something will come out the blue. Bam. But that's what the Lord had you save it up for that very moment. We're not over here to prosper, man. All right. We are yet this day in our captivity. So knowing that, okay, we have to put our head down and do what the fuck we got to do. All right. Take our black ass to work. And, hey, I had to learn that, man, because once you get in this truth, and then, especially early, you get that fucking mentality, the Lord got me, I don't need this job, but hey, man, you need your job, man. Believe you me. Genesis 3 and 19, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, for thou shalt return unto the ground, for out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. So that's the basically the curse. All right. Hey, through the sweat of our brow we shall eat our bread. Okay. And we should be subject to death, so that's all inclusive. All right. With that curse. All right. So going on to the next one. All right. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 40 and verse 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better is it to die than to beg. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life, for he polluteth himself with other man's meat, but a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless, but in the belly there shall burn a fire. So you don't want to live a beggar's life, man. Okay, lead not a beggar's life, for it is better to die than to beg. So it's best to be self-substantial or self-substantiated, if that's the word. Okay, Is that's hey, the scriptures say it. All right, you don't want to be brothers look at you like, here you go, you know what I'm saying, coming, and there's nothing wrong with when you're down helping, but if you're one of them brothers that's always every week, asking for something, man, hey, you gotta go, self-examine yourself. All right. So moving on, this is the workout session. Section 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but good godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that is now, that now is, and that which is to come. So that at the top part, all right, physical exercise profiteth little, but at the same time, it's still profitable. Okay, so hey, you can't sleep on exercise or uh, yeah, take it for granted. All right, because it keeps you healthy. All right, it keeps you somewhat in good health because hey, we're surrounded by chemicals. We're surrounded, and it's in everything. All right, the scriptures say we should eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. So the Lord knows what predicament He put us in, but He also gave us avenues to really get out of it, so to say. Um, so yeah, or to make it better, so to say. So yeah, hey, exercising is good, and the more energy you have, the more available you are to the body. Okay, the body of Yahushua. All right, which is doing your part as your function of the body, whatever it be. All right, you'll be in better shape, and your spirit will be in better shape because this is a vessel that our spirit is in, and if it's downtrodden and fucked up, it's going to affect our spirit. But if otherwise, if it's somewhat healthy, then hey, bam, you know what I'm saying? Your spirit is gonna flourish as well. Okay, so going to the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 14. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. So there you go. Death is better than living a beggar's life. Death is better than having poor, physical, being in a poor physical state. Okay, and like I said, this is our vessel that the Lord gave us, so we have to, treat it to the best of our ability. All right, and this is not our bodies because it says you are bought with a price. You know, going on to the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse uh 28. Now this is the work aspect. Okay, this is the work aspect because this is the most important part because this is what we're here to do, the work. Let's see. What is that? Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So, hey, our whole duty is to fear the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and keep His commandments. And the commandment of a man, hey, we're all supposed to be priests, kings and priests, right? If you're a man, you're supposed to be preaching this word in some capacity. Or doing your job, or doing, being a helpmeet, or whatever it is to help the body. Okay, so Baruch 4:28, for it is your mind to go astray from the Most High. So being returned, seek Him 10 times more, and that's us. All right, the Lord, supped with us in our mind whenever He, turned that light bulb on, for us, the Rakah HaKodesh to enter in us, and for us to really realize, yeah, the truth of the matter. All right, while we're in captivity, who is the captor, so what, and so on and so forth. Okay, but hey, some brothers got in early. Okay, some brothers came in teenagers, but some of those brothers didn't come into damn near 30. So you're having to brush that off the world, and your priesthood doesn't start to 30, right? But you got brothers still doing the work before that. But when you're a man, okay, like Jeremiah was a young man, all right, and he was prophesying. So, hey, when you're a man, age of 12, really, if the Rakah HaKodesh is on you, you're supposed to start from there. But a lot of us, didn't have that luxury, most of us. So, hey, for it is your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek Him 10 times more, So that's what we're doing through the Spirit, man. All right. Luke chapter 19 and verse 13. And this is the words of our Lord. Luke 19 and 13. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. So that's the commandment. The Lord said, occupy till I come. And what are we to be occupied in? Not in this world, okay, doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, the studying, the reading, the fasting, the praying, okay, that all goes into it, you know. And what else, like the Elder Wamba was going into, Yahshua Wamba was going into, so like I didn't mean to, shorten up your name, like I know the brother, but yeah, been listening to him so long and so much, I feel like I know certain brothers. But anyway, yeah, man. He said, "Hey, being bored is a good thing. Like, what would you rather be doing? Be tied up in the affairs of this world? What, going out to eat? What, going to a bar? Going to a club? Going to a lounge? Like, what is there to do? All right, that's substantial. That's gonna carry on to the next life. And hey, the answer is this work. 2 Timothy 4:1. I charge thee therefore before Yahweh and the Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing in his kingdom. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So that's what we're doing, man. We're rebuking and reproving and being instant in season, out of season, being ready. Okay, being ready. Instant in season and out of season. Let's see what it looks like in the blue letter. 2 Timothy 4:2. Preach the word. Let's see. Let's see what that word instant is. The Greek word ephisteme. And this is to place at, place upon, place over, to stand by, be present, to stand over one, place one's self above, to be at hand, to be ready. Okay, so hey, we're supposed to be ready to teach. It says the scripture says be apt to teach. And this is the last one, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this one. This is the book of Romans, chapter 12. I beseech ye, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is your reasonable service. Now, that is a reasonable service. Okay, reasonable doesn't mean that it's the top thing. You're doing the bare minimum that you should be doing. Okay, that doesn't mean that we're doing the bare minimum that we should be doing. It means that, doing this work, you shouldn't esteem yourself and like, oh, I'm doing the work, I'm straight. No, it only begins there. All right, doing the work. You know what I'm saying? We got to show our faith by our works. So I'm gonna end it with that, Lord, when it was edifying, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchah HaKodash. Double honors due to the apostles, the bishops, the elders, the great millstone, and peace, blessings, and safety to the Lord's elect out there. Until next time, I say shalom.